So we just jump into it like Philip DeFranco. Alrighty.
You already lost me.
let's just jump into it in 5, 4, 3, 2. And we're back after a week hiatus. Welcome to a fresh new episode of Speak Freely. And of course, as always, is Mr. Damn it! Take two. I am as always Mr. And we're I'm Kuno. How are you? Yep.
Much better.
I concur, and I wish I made one before we started rolling.
You got time now. Just place an order with your brother-in-law.
Oh yeah, I should make him. I should text him real quick. Can you make me an espresso? I'm dying. I just realized I have all this dog hair. That's why it's like all shiny on here. Anyways, whatever. Fuck it. I'm dirty. It's that kind of week, folks. It's been.
It is that kind of week.
So, for our faithful listeners, first of all, thank you. We appreciate you. We see you. We love you. You may have noticed that last week we did not post a video. Mostly because our schedules were hectic. I can at least say for me, my schedule was all over the place, and boy, do I have a story about that. But also, Brian has been working pretty much nonstop for like how long did you say? Like 10 days or something like that?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, dude.
Got one day off today and back tomorrow, you know?
Yeah, the point is, folks, the world's starting to open back up. We are not as free as we used to be. Speaking of being free, you see what
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm off. I'm terrible today. But real talk, the world's starting to open back up slowly but surely, which is honestly very cool, but also very stress inducing. And a lot of me as a freelancer, a lot of things have been happening all of a sudden, which is kind of cool, but also I am constantly in the haze of tired. I would imagine Brian is very much the same as me. Just always like, what do I gotta do? Can I nap? No. Fuck. Okay. So let's start with you, Brian. First of all, why? Second of all, cool hat. I like that hat. I actually really dig it.
Yeah, it's a recent purchase.
Yeah.
Kind of I guess kind of spontaneous. Like I just Instagram does what it does and it popped up and I was like, yes, I want this.
The algorithm doing its job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I figured I started playing in a pool league on Sundays.
Ooh, she got you into that?
Yeah, they needed an extra spot on the team. And I was like, yeah, I'll be your low level. Like just
Yeah, sure. I'll be the runt. That's fine.
Yeah, whatever. But it's usually here in Anaheim, but like all throughout Orange County. I was like, I need a hat that like when I wear a flannel and the hat, it says like it looks like I have a gun, but I don't actually have a gun. You know what I mean?
I mean, all I'm gonna say is I'm from Texas. Once I'm back in California, and that should pretty much let people know, oh, this guy probably has a gun. Hey man, I got a bone to pick with you, bro. I'm from Texas. You sure you want to do this? My bad, sir.
On your way, sir. Thank you, sir.
Apologies, sir. Apologies.
No, you said the world is opening up slowly but surely, and I would say no. It's like full on. Everybody's out and about, and like it is not slow at all. It is ridiculous. It's a little. I mean, I've talked on the show about it before, but it's hard to find someone to hire because nobody wants to work. The problem is that people who aren't working are out eating and shopping and like doing their thing, and man, it's hard to keep up.
Which makes you think, if people aren't working, but they're out and about doing stuff, like where is that money coming from, bro?
Yeah, it's. I feel. I mean, we don't do politics here very much, but enough is enough.
Yeah,
It's at this point,
yeah,
enough is enough.
yeah. No, I agree. I have no idea what we're talking about, but I agree. We
Yeah,
don't
no, all
delve,
the
we don't dive into politics. That's not true. We kind of did once early on, I think, right? Anyways, that's another topic.
yeah,
Go on with
but yeah,
yours.
no, honestly, it's the a lot of people aren't working because like unemployment benefits are still really really good, and it at for some people it's worth it to not work because the more children they have, the more money they get, plus all the extra benefits that you get from not working. And why work hard? If
Yeah.
it's all this quote unquote free money is coming your way.
That's where I feel like I fucked up during COVID, because I was like, I'm just going to force myself to make it. So I never applied for unemployment. And also, too, like, I'm very lucky in the sense that, like, I currently, this will change, this situation will change soon, but I currently live with my folks. So I really had nothing to worry for, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I also feel like, man, because I had friends talking about how they're just like saving up their unemployment. And I'm like, fuck, I should have done that. But then I feel like for me personally, if I would have done that, I'd probably be on the same boat. I'd have no incentive to try. Because, like, why bother? I'm getting paid to just not work, which sounds kind of sweet, but I don't know. It's weird. I feel like maybe I should still try to get unemployment though, but I don't know. It might be too late now. I'm getting a
No,
sweet
maybe not.
I'm getting a sweet refund for my taxes, so
Oh, nice.
it's nowhere near the last stimulus check, but it's a chunk of
No,
change.
that's good. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I honestly, if you can, why not? Just do it.
I
Other
mean,
people are.
that's true. And I'm the type of person too where I probably wouldn't stop working, because like on the days where I find myself, it's like, oh, I have nothing truly pending in terms of like I have no projects to finish, I have no rehearsals to be at. I feel aimless and like anxious, like I gotta find something to do. And it's like, just watch a
Right.
movie. But what movie? I can't. No, I can't just choose a movie. A series? Are you crazy?
You know how much work a series is?
Yeah, no, for real. So I mean, I'm at a point too where I want to work. Like, I want to be creative consistently. So I probably should just get unemployment. It would probably help tremendously.
Honestly,
I
yeah,
don't.
save up before you make that big move.
Yeah, which I'm making very soon, so it's probably not gonna help. But yeah, man, you've been working nonstop 10 days. Like, what'd you say your hours were? There was something ridiculous.
It
I was
was
like,
like
fuck that.
6:30, like going in at 6:30 a.m., which means I have to leave by like 5:30. So 6:30 till about 5:30, 6 p.m. on some
No,
days.
not me. Mm-mm.
No.
Can't live that. Can't live that life. That's rough.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's not like I'm like you, but I can't just not do the work. Like if it has to get done, I'm the kind of guy who just has to get it done.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even if it takes me a while, but yeah, my situation isn't nearly as like heavy as yours. But
Yeah, but you've been doing some crazy hours too.
the thing that sucks about what's cool. It's cool, but it sucks about being a freelancer is like when work comes, it's great. You have something to look forward to, but then like there's like just weeks where it just like all piles on the same week, and you're like, fuck, and it's just tiring. Um, yeah, I had a couple of shows last week. Uh, one went pretty well, and another one was a pain in the ass. Uh,
Let's start with the one that went pretty well.
oh, that was a Saturday church gig, and it was fun. I mean, look, like I don't know if I should say I. It's not that I try to hide it. I'm not one of these like flaunters of like, look at me, I'm blue. But I mean, you know, and my friends know, and I guess I'll say it publicly. Oh God, I'm Catholic. I
The
know,
sin on you.
I know. The Catholic guilt is so real. Um, but like the people who know me know, like how Catholic I am, and if you were to ask most people that associate with me, I'm not a very good Catholic. But it's like I always tell people real talk. I always tell them like Catholicism is the way I exercise like my faith, my relationship with what I believe to be a creator. I don't necessarily believe that creator's an old man that's bald with a giant white beard. But that conversation is neither here or there. Maybe one day we'll get the balls to talk about what we believe in. But it's always a touch. It's always a touchy subject with like people.
Yeah.
Not with you and me. Like me and Brian have talked about it a
Oh yeah.
lot, and we understand each other. And I think ultimately we're both just kind of aiming for the same thing, just different methods of going about it, which I think is kind of beautiful about our relationship. But
Yeah. So, dear listener, if you want to hear more about this, leave a comment down below. Let us know.
yeah, yeah. Please be kind and rewind.
Oh.
I don't know why that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Anyways, the point being, I am Catholic, so occasionally, like, I do volunteer at like churches and stuff, and it's usually, if I'm being honest, it's usually a loss because I very rarely do I get paid for playing in a Catholic church. If I'm being completely honest, and like if people want to give me grief, especially Catholics, whatever, it's just what it is. Catholics, you don't pay. That's just the truth. Christians, Protestants, non-denomination, Presbyterian, you guys pay and God bless you. But Catholics, y'all never pay me ever. But every once in a while, I'll find myself with like some free time. I'll be like, all right, I'll go help out. And that gig was fine. It went surprisingly well. Uh, and I
the
had fun.
experience is payment enough, David.
Yeah, the Lord sees what you do, David, and that should be payment enough. It's like, does the Lord see that I have these bills to pay, Karen? You have no idea how many, but in Spanish,
Right.
Dios mira lo que estás haciendo, David. Y eso es suficiente pago.
Okay, Karen.
Oh,
Gracias.
okay. Oh, sí. Oh, qué chido. I don't know what's a typical Spanish lady name. What would be?
Karen.
We're all over the place, but Karen's not really a Spanish name. That's
That's
just us
true.
saying it in a
Karina.
Spanish accent. There we go. Gracias, Karina. Pendeja. Anyways, that gig went well. It went well. It legitimately did.
Okay. Despite Karina, it went pretty well.
Yeah, despite people trying to tell me how like I shouldn't be paid for my services. Yeah, whatever, dude. But yeah, it went well. Oh, that's another thing too. Oh my god, what I think one day I will want to do, like a venting about the Catholic Church.
Or like just like your church specifically that you go
Yeah,
to.
just like my community, specifically my community, just put them all on blast and stuff.
Mhm.
Because like here's the thing too, right? I know we're all over the place. Welcome to Speak Freely. We speak freely about everything, and wherever our mind goes today, just strap in, folks. We're gonna be all over the place. It's that kind of a day. Anyways, but real talk, like I don't go to the Catholic Church for the community, because it's just like if I did, I'd stop going. Because in general, people are awful everywhere. Genuinely speaking, like what label they put on themselves doesn't really determine if they are a good person or if they're not a good person. It's their actions that determine if they're a genuinely good person. And I mean, we all know this. We've seen some horrible shit go down in the name of Christianity and what have you. So, I mean, if you call yourself Catholic, Christian, whatever, I really don't care. It's like, what quality of person are you? Like, what do I see you do? Mostly, right? So that being said, yeah, I don't go to church for people. It's just the way it's kind of dumb, but like I heard this analogy. I don't remember from who, but it's like it's basically like a gym membership. It's like where how people like go to a gym to train their bodies. I go to church to train my spirituality. That's really it. Like it's for me, selfishly speaking. It's really for me. And
Yeah. And some people go to gyms for the community too. So
yeah, some people do. And that's
yeah.
fine. But if you're going to a gym for the community, I think you have the wrong idea of what the gym is, and you should probably go to like a social club or a bar or the YMCA. Why are you going to the gym for that? Yeah, what are you gonna do at the gym, man? It's a leg day? Nah, man, I'm gonna hang out with my bros at the gym. We're just gonna stand there looking at the weights. But anyways, back to the gigs.
Right. That's
Saturday
where we
gig
were.
went well. A Friday gig is I'm just delaying. It's a long story, but I'm gonna start it. So last Friday, I had a show at the Houston Rodeo. Now, for those of you who are in and around Houston, you would effectively know that the rodeo was canceled, which is partially true. The public showcases and the public portion of the rodeo was canceled, but the private parts were still going on. So technically speaking, the Houston Rodeo was still a thing. It was just private, mostly for like the sponsors and the investors and what have you. So I got asked to go play at a Friday morning gig for like this big breakfast thing, shindig they were gonna have. And I think it's like the breakfast right before they had their auction. It was gonna be the big auction day that Friday. Um so
Hold on. This is a rodeo where there's an auction
yeah, they auction off like cattle and stuff like that and like other stuff.
for consumption.
It depends. Like for some people, like they'll buy a cattle to like maybe breed it and stuff like that, or maybe for consumption and stuff, or like heirlooms, antiques, equipment, what have you. But yeah, there was an auction.
Ooh.
I wish I took photos. I kept telling myself, dude, take photos, but I'm the type of guy that's so bad about it. Like it's not in my DNA to want to take photos. I just want to live the moment. But I should start taking more photos because I'm getting forgetful, and it'd be nice to remember some shit. But so I had this gig like a month or two in advance because the person they originally invited is this brilliant singer from Nashville, and I love her to death. And none of what I'm about to say is her fault at all. Genuinely speaking, her name's Sierra Gant. She's gonna be a big name. Remember that. Go follow her on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Sierra Gant, amazing singer, and I love her to death. But she asked me like, "Hey, we got the country gig, and you want to play?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, of course, I love playing with you." It's like, "Okay, cool. Let me ask our usual guys." One of them, I'm not gonna say their names. One of them went off to basic training. The other one found Jesus and can only play Christian music now. He refuses to play with worldly bands or however they say it. And he even refuses to help us find other musicians to help us. He's like, can't help you. Sorry. Bye. Don't bother me. All
That
right,
is
dude.
not God's will to help you.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Essentially, yeah. Which is, yeah, whatever. Whatever. She's like, okay, let's look for musicians. So Sierra looks for some musicians based on recommendations from friends and stuff. And she finds these two dudes whose names I'm also not gonna say, but they're in a band. Okay, show's like 2-3 weeks out. Massive group text. Hey guys, when can we rehearse? I say, my schedule's pretty open. It's whatever day works for anybody. I would prefer Monday or Tuesday because that's usually my free days. But whatever works for you guys, I'll make it work. The guy said back. It's like, yeah, you know, we can rehearse whenever. Blah 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 blah. Radio silence. Okay. A couple of days go by. Sierra again. Hey, so can we lock down a rehearsal date? And I mentioned again, like, yeah, I could do this weekend. I could do Sunday if need be, Monday, Tuesday. Other guys respond, yeah, you know, we're pretty busy tracking bands and stuff and work and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, what days work for you guys? And it just keeps going back and forth like that. And then eventually I just be like, look, dudes, I just message them, whatever day works for you, I'll make it work. Just tell us what day you guys could do it. Eventually, they finally decide the Tuesday before the show. All right, so this is the same week. Tuesday, the show's in 4 days. Right, it's a 2-hour show, 2-hour set with a couple of originals. Sarah has a couple of originals, So we have to sit down, kind of learn it, kind of like arrange the songs to where it kind of is presentable and sounds like, like a professional musician's playing an original song. Tuesday comes around. We get to the rehearsal space late. It's like 9:30, 10 p.m. almost. The bassist is there. The drummer isn't. Drummer gets there like around 10 p.m. Immediately, one of the first things these guys tell us, yeah, haven't really had a chance to listen to the playlist. Don't know what the songs are. But we'll be ready Friday. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Most people will hear that and go, what the fuck, right?
Did you see my face just now?
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, though. I know there's genuinely great musicians, especially here. Real talk, there's great musicians where they could possibly pull it out of their ass, like legitimately speaking, because they know, oh, we're playing pop country music. All right, usually the structure's this way. Usually the chord progressions are this way. It's just pop chords. What key are we in? I can figure it out. They can just hear it once. There's musicians who genuinely can hear it once, know exactly how the song goes, and that's it. You don't have to tell them shit. So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, all right, that's a bit overconfident. Now, these kids are young. Let me say that. They were in their early 20s. So I'm thinking.
It's starting to make sense now.
I'm immediately thinking, uh-oh. Legitimately, I'm immediately thinking, uh-oh. But then I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe they'll impress me. Maybe I can just be like, yeah, the song's a 145, and we just go. So it's like, all right. I was trying to be nice. So I originally go, all right, man. Doubt. Exactly. So I go, all right, dudes, let's just try this one. Let's try the first song off the set list. Really easy. It's a 145. Sierra usually plays it in A. Bassist goes. So what are the chords? 145 in A. But what are the chords? It's an A, a D, and an E. Okay, I'll just follow you. All right, fuck. Okay, so I immediately already go, oh, this is gonna be bad. I already knew right away. when you can't speak the lingo, like when you don't know what a 145 is in A, that just automatically means, oh, you're not legitimately a professional musician. That's just what that means. You may be a musician, but you're not a professional musician. Because if you don't know what the fuck a 145 is in any key, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know what the equivalent would be in the kitchen, but it's like if you said like some kind of spice or something, and the person's like, no, which bottle is that?
Not really that. I would say there's certain lingo that's used. Like let's say you're out of something, you would say 86, right? 86 tomatoes for the night. Someone who has never been in a professional kitchen, wouldn't understand that.
Yeah, and yeah, you know what? That's fair. Like the language of a professional kitchen, the language of professional musicians, like, you know what I mean? If I have to physically tell you the chord is A, the chord is D, the chord is E, instead of just easily saying 145 in A, like there's a certain lingo to where, like, even people who don't read music but are still professional musicians, they can follow along because they know the natural numeric structure of chord progressions, essentially. So immediately the bassist says that, and I'm like, fuck, we're fucked. And the drummer's just like, yeah, I'll just follow you. And I immediately go, in my head, fuck, these guys are going to suck. Because I'm supposed to be following the drummer. The drummer's job is to keep time for the band. And the drummer is telling me, but guitarist, I'll follow you. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're fucked. So we start playing.
You're telling me the bottom line of the beat is trying to follow.
Where does the kick and hi-hat go? I don't know. It's splash cymbal the whole time. Fuck, dude. And I'm just like, I just look at him and I go, it's a simple pop country song. So, for any non-musician out there, pop country, it's not that hard. If you're a drummer, it's kick, snare. Kick on 1, 2, maybe snare on 3, and then kick on 4. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2, snare, kick. 1, 2, snare. It's just a simple rock and roll beat almost. It's not rocket science. It's not jazz. It's not bossa nova. It's not classical. It's not. It's just pop. 4/4 time. Drummer couldn't place the beat to save his life. And I'm playing a simple, like, it's country. It's just do it, do it, do it, do it, do. Ah, ooh, ah, ooh. Just a simple rock beat would have worked. Just kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. Nope, couldn't find it. I'm the type of person. I'm the type of person. If I'm mad at you, I can't look at you because I don't want you to. I don't want you. I don't want you to see how fucking furious I am at you. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you to feel bad. But at the same time, I can't look at you because I'm angry at you. You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
I immediately. It's funny to me now. I immediately just look at Sierra and I'm just like eyeballing her, and me and her have this look of like fuck, just like shit, and I'm just like, ah. and then the drummer stops playing, and the bassist stops playing because it starts raining heavily. So for anyone who knows about Houston last week, we had some very severe thunderstorms and rainfall. And there's some serious flooding around the city. So it starts raining really hard, like around 10:30 ish. And the drummer's like, you know what, guys, I don't feel comfortable. It's raining really hard. I don't want to get stuck in the rain, which is real talk. On most occasions, yeah, valid excuse. I lost a car to a flood once. I legitimately did. My car got flooded in, so I get it. So I'm just like, okay, that's fine. We need to rehearse though. So can you guys do tomorrow or Thursday? Preferably both. Lots of back and forth. Eventually the guys decide, yeah, let's do Wednesday. And the guys say, oh yeah, Wednesday would probably be better because we have the whole day free, so we can like listen to the songs, we can rehearse them, and hopefully we can bring it better than we did today on Wednesday. I'm like, great. The guys leave. Me and Sierra have a long coming to Jesus talk of just like, bro, these guys suck, and I'm like, dude, and we're just like, what do you think we should do? And I'm like, do you want to go acoustic? She's like, I'd love to have a full band, but I'm nervous and I'm stressing out now and I can't enjoy the show because I don't know how these guys are going to sound. And I'm like, let me talk to my guys, see if anyone can maybe pull it off. It's really late notice though. It's officially Tuesday night going into Wednesday. The show's on that Friday. So we're just there, just like sweating, just like, oh God. Wednesday comes around. I make it home safe and sound. I left late. I left her house like at 1 a.m. But I make it home. Next day, wake up to a group chat from the guys, and apparently they were called into work, and one of them has I don't know which one. One of them has a double shift, so he won't be able to make it to rehearsal till like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And immediately, me and Sierra text each other like, dude, like, it's not going to be any different from yesterday. Like, you're not going to listen to the songs at work. Like, why are we rehearsing? Why are we wasting each other's time? At this point, I'm fucking pissed off because it's like, in my head, I'm like, the show's on Friday, right? I'm a little mad at myself because I'm like, I should have put my foot down and be like, let me get the guys. You know what I mean? But like, it's her show. I didn't want to like overstep my boundaries. She hired me. You know what I'm saying? But I should have, like, hindsight being 2020, obviously, I should have been like, let me get the dudes. Like, you trust me to get the dudes. I'll get quality musicians. And I'm pissed off at these kids, and they're young dudes. They're like early 20s, so I'm going to call them kids. You can fuck off. I'm 33 years old. You're kids to me. and I'm just like, why did you take the gig? If you're so busy tracking bands and double shifts, and why did you take the gig knowing that you weren't going to be prepared? Or even better, like we let you decide the rehearsal date and you still weren't ready, bro. Like fuck you. Like real talk. I hope I never run into you again because I'm going to make sure people know the quality that you gave me. Like, let's just straight up, like talking to my friend. We're like, yeah, like good luck to them in their future. Never working with them again because that was atrocious. Anyways, we just tell. Like, we bite the bullet and we tell them, like, you know what, guys, we're just going to do acoustic. Don't worry about it. Whatever. For their part, they were professional in their in their response. They still try to be like, yeah, hopefully in the future we can work together. And I'm just like, ha, no, never. Hopefully not. Hopefully never, sir. Even if you
Secretly, they're
guys,
like, "Oh, thank God, we don't have to do this show because we're
the
not ready."
honestly, real talk, I think so. I think
Right?
so, but they kept. This is what pisses me off, dude. They kept trying to reassure me, like, but we'll have it Friday. I'm like, dude, I don't want to know. I don't want to roll the dice and see if you will have it Friday or not. Have it ready right the fuck now. That's what we're have rehearsal for, to see if you have it ready, and you don't. Like, why would I gamble that you'll have it ready by Friday when you don't have it ready now? Like get pendejada, bro. Like, I was furious, dude, and it was. Anyways, we rehearsed Thursday all day, and Brian, you know, because I kept texting you back and forth. I was like, dude, shit went south. I gotta rehearse. And I was texting everybody too. I'm in this other band, this punk rock band. I'm like, guys, I have to cancel. I gotta rehearse for this gig on Friday. Shit kind of went south. We rehearsed Friday. It is what it is. Like, the songs are there, but obviously they're not as enjoyable because it's just two guitars and a cajon. You know what I mean? It's not the same as like when you got drums, bass, guitars. But Friday comes, we're at the rodeo, and you can just tell there's like that vibe of like, fuck, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
even though like we had a good rehearsal, the songs sound like the song. There's just like this energy where we're just like, I don't want to do this now. Like, we were so amped up for the show, and then everything happened where like our original guys just couldn't or wouldn't help us. These guys didn't work out. I couldn't find musicians to come help me because it was too late notice. Nobody could get the day off work, or people already had other plans, which I understand. I'm not like, yeah, of course. Like, it's really late notice. So it's just this energy of like, let's just get it over with. And we get through the show. It sounds okay. I had a couple of flubs, literally like two flubs that I can recall in my memory, like the ones that really stick out. Like, how did I mess that up? I know how to play that song. You know what I mean?
It's the
And
energy.
it's the energy. Like, legitimately, as cliche or cheesy as that may sound, like, it's the energy where you're up there and like none of the musicians are feeling it. None of us are vibing. We're all kind of pissed off. We're all kind of tired. We're all kind of mad. Like, it just unfortunately comes out in the performance, and like, we had some compliments. People seem to have enjoyed the show, but like, but we know because
Right.
we've performed those songs before, and we know the caliber there could be at, and we're like, yeah, this wasn't it. Like, it just wasn't it. So it was like, it was a bummer of a day. Like, and like, I was just like, this sucks. Like, I don't want this to be, because I'm moving. So who knows when's the next time I'll get to play with her. And I'm like, I don't want this to be it. Like, this is bull. Like, and for stuff that was kind of sort of out of our control in some aspects. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that show, not the worst show I've played, thankfully, but definitely
Everything
not.
leading up to it.
Everything leading up to it, and unfortunately because of it, the show did suffer. Like, there's something to be said about your professionalism and like just the years of repetition kicking in, which thankfully for like 90% of the show, for me personally, it did. But it's just like, man, I would have loved to have been able to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was literally just like how much it was literally, and I know she was feeling it too, 'cause she kept asking me, how much time do we have left? Okay. How much time
Yeah.
now? Oh, okay. And I felt it too. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm feeling it, because I kept looking at my clock too, like, okay, all right, 45 minutes down. All right, there's another 10. There's another 20. You know what I mean? Like,
See, when it's 2 hours of like constantly looking at your phone for the time,
it's not fun.
that's no.
That's when it's a job. You know what I mean? That's a job. It's not like, dude, I get to play music for a living. It's like, fuck, I got to play this music for a living. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a job, man, and that sucked. And like, I don't blame the people I played with. Ultimately, like, I don't blame myself. I don't blame the singer or the guy we got for Cajon. I don't blame them at all. It was just everything leading into that show was kind of like it was kind of like the world wanted us to fail. You know what I mean? Like, if as weird as that sounds, but like, I don't think we failed, but it definitely wasn't like something to like talk about or tell people or show people that show. It's kind of like a show you want to forget. Like let's just move on from that. Like I don't want to remember
Yeah.
this. So
What are the
so that
lessons you take from that?
the lessons I take from it is number one, next time be adamant about hiring musicians I personally trust. Like musicians I know could pull a 2-hour set like that out of their ass. And I know a couple.
Yeah. 2
Number
hours is
one.
a long set.
It's a long set, so you need like a caliber musician to like that can handle that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, when you have a show that far in advance, get to work ASAP. Like, and if like the musicians that you initially hire are like constantly giving you the back and forth, cut them loose and find somebody else immediately. Like, that's where because I was getting impatient, and I should have taken my impatience for like, you know what, dude, you need to do something about this. You know what I mean? But I was again in my head, I was like, I don't want to. It's not my show. Like, blah blah blah. Let's see what happens. Maybe they're good. And it's next time it's like, don't take that gamble. Just don't. Like, go with what you know. That's gonna make it good. So it is what it is. So, and now I never want to talk about it again. Now that we recorded it, and it'll be on the internet to live forever. Yeah, I never want to relive that show, which sucks, but it is what it is.
20 years from now, when there's a documentary about you and your life and the career you've had, this video right here is gonna pop up.
And someone's gonna ask me in an interview, so what's the worst show you played? Ah, man, you know, I tend to forget those shows. I like vent about them, I forget them. What about this show? Oh yeah, that happened. I don't remember it.
Oh well, you talked about it in full detail. Here, I'll play it for you.
This is literally a podcast on the internet where you talked about it for over half an hour, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. I don't remember it though. So that was my week last week.
Nice.
That being said, there is a silver lining to it. I think me and Sierra are trying to do one last show, a live stream before I move and she moves back to Nashville. So hopefully we can get that done. And I'm looking to do that end of June. So it's not in stone yet, but I'm pushing hard to make that happen because I'm like, I don't want that last show to be possibly our last show. You know what I mean? Like, I want us to like legit, like, fucking crank it out, have a good time. Like, because we've done it before. We have done it before. We could do it again. So we'll see. Anyways, I watched The Lighthouse this week. What a tangent.
What a
segue.
Yeah, we'll jump right in. What'd you think?
Much like the show I had last week, very upsetting and off-putting. I like that guy. I forget his name. It's like oh God. I know he made The Witch, and I love that movie too. Yes. But I forget the director screenwriter's name. It's like S. How do you say it, bro? Google it for me because I'm blanking.
Robert Eggers.
Is it Robert Eggers? Oh, it's so. I was thinking of somebody else completely different. But I know he made The Witch, and I really like that film. It's creepy. It's weird. And it's very like different for like a horror film. It's a very straightforward film too. Which The Lighthouse is not. The Lighthouse is dripping with symbolism, like, and you can't take anything at face value. I'm still trying to dissect what it means exactly, and I've seen like 5 YouTube videos and read like 10 articles on what people think it means, and I'm still like, I have no idea. The basis of it is like, people are like, it's based on Greek mythology of Prometheus and the other P guy, Prometheus, whatever. It's based on Greek mythology, Poseidon? Supposedly. No, not Poseidon. There was like another guy, also with the P, but I forget it. And then some people have made the analogy of like, it's actually him, like in this weird warped timeline where he is the older Thomas and he's the younger Thomas, because eventually you find out, spoiler alerts, you find out they're both named Tom. So it's like, oh, it's actually him, but older. And it's like, okay. And it's just, it was odd, man. I don't know what to make of it. It was captivating to watch. I liked William Dafoe. I love William Dafoe. He makes weird ass films, but I love him. And Robert
Pattinson.
Pattinson was really good in it too. They both went for it.
How could
It's
you not
just
go for it?
it's just odd. It's an odd film. I don't even know if I don't even know if I legitimately could call it upsetting. I could see how it could be upsetting to certain mindsets. I didn't find it upsetting. It has some obscene things in it, but it didn't make me upset. I'm just like trying to rack my brain about what the fuck does it all mean.
But you can't look away.
You can't look away.
You can't look away. I've only seen it the one time and I don't remember much of it. I just remember a lot of tension, a lot of atmosphere, and you just cannot look away. You don't understand what you're watching, but you cannot look away.
Yeah,
It's like a TikTok video. You cannot look away.
Yeah, and I'm still not sure what I watched. Like, because it starts off pretty straightforward, and it gets crazy. I immediately knew Robert Pattinson's character, Tom or Ephraim, whatever. I immediately knew like he's not going to be a reliable narrator, just because like when he has that first scene, that first dream of the mermaid, like that very first dream, I'm like, oh, we can't trust him now. Like that's it. That's the director legitimately telling us you can't trust this guy. He's already dreaming about mermaids, and it's like we're fucked. And then I was always up and I didn't know if I could trust or if I did trust or if I didn't trust William Dafoe's character, because there's certain moments where it feels like he's blatantly lying about what happened, but then you also have to think about what the director presents on the film. Like for example, when he hacks the boat, the lifeboat near the end of the film. Right? He hacks and he's like, "Don't leave me," and he hacks the boat because Robert Pattinson's trying to get off the island. And then later on, when they're back in the house, like William Dafoe's character tells him, like you almost killed me with the axe, the same way you destroyed the boat with the axe. And it's like you're not sure if he's like, because it blatantly sounds like a lie because visually you just saw it. But at the same time, you know Robert Pattinson's character is an unreliable narrator. Like, you can't trust what he sees or what he doesn't see because he's fucking losing his mind. Which is made blatantly clear when he's choking Thomas and he turns into a sea creature, and immediately afterwards is back to just regular old Tom in a flooded house. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, you can't trust Ephraim or whatever. Ephraim Tom. You can't trust him. So I don't know, man. I don't know. What the fuck was that about? I have no idea. The duality of man, how ultimately all men are just savage and toxic masculinity. Arr.
It is quite the film.
Yeah.
It was. I gave up. It was too much for me to even think about after watching it.
It's very ambitious.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a mainstream film at all.
Is it an Oscar film though?
No. No.
Okay, quick question. What's more confusing? The Lighthouse or Tenet?
Fuck.
Because I would argue, at least in The Lighthouse, you kind of can follow like a narrative. In Tenet, I don't know what the fuck's going on at any point.
Okay. In terms of trying to take each film at face value, meaning that we don't try to take any of the symbolism or any of the themes the director may or may not be conveying, on pure face value, yeah, Lighthouse is a slightly straighter story. At face value, it's about a guy losing his shit, killing his partner, and then crazy shit happens. Whereas with Tenet, on face value, yeah, it's kind of hard to follow that story. I will admit to that. In terms of what each movie means, I think it's pretty clear what Tenet is about. Whereas The Lighthouse,
you just don't know.
who the fuck knows? Only the director knows, and he's not going to give you answers. So, what do you think it means? Fuck you. No, I don't know what it means. So, I mean, I was gonna say I liked both films, but I don't know if I actually liked The Lighthouse. If I
Right.
really think about it, you know what I mean? I know I
Yeah.
don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't regret watching it per se. I just don't know if I like it. It's such an odd film. Like it's like kind of up there with like Swiss Army Man, where it's like it's odd and it's like you kind of have to maybe watch it again to decide if you genuinely like it or not. Which I don't know if I want to go through that again though with The Lighthouse. If I'm being honest, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if I
I
could.
do know exactly what you mean. Like I have not rewatched it. Not even thought about rewatching it. Swiss Army Man
Right?
2. Not like no, thank you.
Yeah, agree. I can't wait to be in California and you and I could go watch movies and just
Yes.
be confused together.
Yes. 100%.
I can't wait for us to go to like some showing and be like, what the let's go let's go get a mango cart, bro. What the fuck did we just watch?
We got to go to the Alamo though. The one in downtown LA. No kids allowed.
Hell yeah. We used to have one here and they closed it down.
Hmm.
Houston has some good stuff. I won't say it completely sucks.
I just hope the Alamos like survives this whole pandemic.
You might want to double check. 'Cause I think I distinctly remember a Twitter. Some theaters haven't survived, and I think I saw the Alamo did not. You might have to check.
Shoot.
It's either that one or the ArcLight.
The ArcLight did not survive.
Oh boy. Oh no. Because I wanted to go to that so bad. I've heard many good thing about it.
Oh.
You know what else
ArcLight's
didn't
really
survive?
nice.
You know what else didn't survive that really hurt? And you took me last time I visited. Amoeba Music.
Oh,
It's gone.
yeah.
It's gone, bro. Oh, that hurt. That one hurt.
Yeah.
This is dope.
I think the one in San Francisco is still open. I gotta check though.
Yeah, but I don't want to go to San Francisco for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, go watch The Lighthouse. Tell us what you think. Leave it in the comment section down below.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Pause right now.
Pause.
Go watch The Lighthouse.
Hey, if you're like, I don't know where it's on Amazon Prime, go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait. Brian. We'll wait. What did you think?
Are you back? Yeah.
It's odd, right? Tell us what you think it means. Do you like? You know what I'm coming up with? Legitimately, the more I think about this film, and it's been on my mind since I watched it. I keep thinking, Ephraim or Thomas or whatever. I keep thinking it's basically he's in hell, and he's kind of like being tortured by Tom, who's like a demon, making him confront his guilt, and then his guilt, figuratively and literally, eats him alive. And I think the seagulls are like a symbolism for his guilt, especially because of that ending, where the seagulls are literally eating him alive. Spoiler alert. Even though it doesn't fucking matter, just watch the whole film. Like, you can take any scene out of context. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? Exactly. Go watch the film. But that's what, honestly, like, it's obviously steeped in, like, because I know the director's, like, he really loves myth, and it's very steeped in, like, a bunch of different myths. But I think ultimately, like, the way it makes sense to me is, like, this guy's in hell because he killed his partner in the lumberjack, whatever, right? And we know he's capable of killing himself because, like, it's alluded to in the film. So a part of me is just like, yeah, he's stuck on this lighthouse, and it's like the light itself isn't. It's kind of like judgment, kind of exposing him to all that he's done. You know what I mean? Because we never see what's in the light. We only see his reaction to it, and it's so overbearing that he literally goes insane and falls down the spiral staircase, which again is like his descension into
Purgatory. Oh, hell.
No, hell. It's either he is in hell or the lighthouse is literally purgatory, and at the end of it, he's officially in hell. It's one of that's the only way it makes sense to me, symbolically speaking. Because if I take it at face value, it's a bonkers film.
It's just a guy going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Take it or leave it. I think that's what the director wants. He ultimately wants you to decide what you think the film is about. And the only thing that makes sense to me is like it's either some kind of like low level purgatory or it's just straight up hell, and he's kind of descending into. Oh, he could be descending into like the 9 different levels, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Like the first level is like that face value, and then slowly as he like
Mm-hmm.
descends more and more, shit gets crazier and
Deeper
crazier.
circles, yeah.
So maybe it's Dante's Inferno, but Ephraim's Inferno.
Tom's Inferno.
Tom and Tom's Inferno. Yeah, it's fun to talk about. I will say that.
Sure.
It's
Just
one of
trying
those
to figure
movies.
it out.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where it's just fun to talk about what the fuck do you think it means. Compare to like a movie like I don't know, Hobbs
Tom
and
and
Shaw.
Jerry.
Oh God, Tom and Jerry. But there's not really much to talk about. It's a film. It exists.
It sure does.
Yep.
That's what Fast
Go.
9 is going to be.
You could. I'm gonna go watch that movie because I low key love the Fast series. Judge me for it. I don't care. It's a
Hmm.
ripping good
Okay.
time. I feel good, and I love my family more coming out of it because it's all about family. Brian.
Oh. Well, then you and Tracy can go watch that.
Hell yeah! I'll definitely go take her to go watch it with me. Tracy, let's go. Gonna be throwing popcorn at the yes. The adrenaline. We're gonna be racing back to your apartment.
Yeah.
One of us gets in a car accident, and let's be honest, it'll most likely be me. I'll get into the car accident, but somehow I'll come out unscathed because we just watched F9. And if you know anything about
Yeah.
those films, they get into crazy accidents, and they always come out.
Everyone but Paul Walker, yeah. Oh,
Oh,
too soon? Too
too
soon?
real. Too real.
Oh, too real.
And we're canceled. Welcome to the last episode of Speak Freely. Oh boy, but
Nice.
yeah,
Nice. Anything else going on over that week that we missed?
yeah, it's just a shitload of
Yeah.
wasted time and rehearsals. Really, that I think that's the worst part of it. It's just they wasted our time. Like we could have done so much production shit if they had just been if they had just legitimately had the humility to be like, yeah, we can't do this. You know what I mean? Like if you're
Yeah.
legitimately that busy with work and doing other projects and stuff, don't take the gig. Because now you're wasting everyone else's time, and also you're making us look bad now, and that's future money we may or may not get because of you.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I want to say, especially to young musicians. Like I know it's fun playing shows, and like once you get a couple of shows under your belt, you feel like a fucking big shot. But real talk, guys, like don't say yes to every gig. Just don't. Like if you feel like it's daunting, it's because it is. Don't take that show. Because you're gonna make yourselves look bad. You're gonna make the other people look bad, and worse than that, you're gonna ruin your reputation. Because if you get a professional musician like me who's done this fucking show a bunch of times, who has pulled out 3 hour sets out of his ass the day before, I've done that before. 3 hour set the night before I had it, Mother's Day gig on bass. I've done it because I know I could do it. If you can't do that, don't take the gig. Just don't. Because now my grumpy old ass is going to remember your names, and I'm going to make sure I never work with you again. That's just it. So don't take the gig if you sincerely can't do it. Like have the humility and know your talents to know if you should or should not do this. Just that's it. That's it. Don't waste my time. That's really it. Fuck. I'm old. But am
You're
I being too much?
officially no,
Am I being too much
you're
of a hard ass though? Like real talk.
no,
Like
not at all. No, not at all. It's really true. It's so part of the reason why I've had to work so much lately is because again, this 18-year-old kid coming from Michigan, right? He he's here in LA living with his girlfriend. Uh, yeah, 18-year-old kid living with his girlfriend needs a job, pay the rent, pay bills, stuff like that. I get it. Uh, Comes in, talks about like, oh, I have like 2 years of experience working in an Italian restaurant. It gets really busy. I know how to work hard, and I really like the food here. I'm really excited to start learning things, blah blah blah, all this stuff. Yes,
18-year-old
David.
kid. 18-year-old kid with 2 years of experience in an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
That already sounds.
Yeah. I know.
What did he work as? Dish boy? Yeah, lots of experience washing these dishes. Whatever,
but
but go on.
but I was like, I'm kind of desperate. Like I kind of need just a body to help me out in the kitchen. So all right, cool. Yeah, we'll try it out. Worst comes to worst, put him in the dish pit, washing dishes, which is probably what he was doing, right? Because he shows up. I put him to work on the line. Cannot saute for sure. And if you're doing pasta, like you're sauteing all day long. He doesn't know how to hold a pan. He doesn't know how to hold a spatula. It's like, no, it's crazy. But good energy, seems excited to learn, takes direction well. It seems very coachable. So it's like, okay, whatever. Like you can work with that. On his second day, he calls out sick. On his third day, he calls out sick. The fourth day, he shows up. Fifth day, calls out sick. Sixth day, he shows up. Seventh day, shows up. Eighth day, calls out sick. Like, okay, 8 days, you've called out for 4. What? What are you doing? You're you're wasting my time. You're wasting your time. You're wasting everyone's time. Everyone has to work harder when you're not here, right?
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
and unreliable,
Unreliable.
which is
And
probably
he can't
the worst sin. We can't
and then
we
he's
can't
not
trust you.
and then he's not present enough to even learn what he's doing.
Much like the
Yeah.
bassist and drummer we initially hired. Like you don't even give us the time to at least teach you the tunes, dude. You just expect us to believe you'll have it ready. Like these young kids, bro. Fuck, we're at
Yeah.
that age, man. These young fucking kids, man. These young 20
It's
year olds thinking they're hot shots. And it's like you don't know shit, kid. Like you don't. Like good for you. Your daddy and your mommy told you played great and you got a couple of gigs. Yay. That don't mean shit to me. All right, you worked in an Italian restaurant for 2 years allegedly. That don't mean shit if you can't actually like show up and do the work, dude. Like,
yeah. It's
but
eventually,
yeah,
quit. I was like, you don't even work here, really.
yeah. It's like you quit. We fired you 2 days ago when you were sick,
Yeah.
dude. But real talk. Even though we're venting like grumpy old men. Isn't it kind of cool though that now we're at this age where like we've been doing long enough to where we know, like we're in it. You know what I mean? Like we know
Hmm.
the caliber of people we can work with because we judge it based on our own caliber. And like, look, I've said it before. I'll say it again. As far as chefs I know, which isn't many, but as far as chefs I personally know, like your food is bomb, dude, and you get very experimental and you're very artsy with it. Isn't just like, oh, it tastes good. Like it's a literal work of art where it's like visually it's stunning, it smells great, and beyond that, it tastes great. You're at that point where I was there in the beginning where it was like what 8 years ago. You're like, yeah, you know what? I'm thinking about like culinary. Like I'm gonna try this. I remember one time you took me to your house when you're still living with your parents, and you're like, I made this thing. I was just experimenting. I was like, this is the most delicious thing I've ever had. What the hell, Brian?
I don't
You know
remember
what
what
I
that
mean?
was.
It was at your house. It was at your parents' house, and it was like I remember it was like bread with like meat. I forget what the dish was called. All I remember was like being
Hmm.
blown away how you're just like, yeah, I didn't really come out the way I wanted it to, blah 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 blah. And then I ate it and I was like, I could literally eat this for the next week. It's so good. It's funny because like I do that shit too with my music. I had like this one
Yeah.
instance where I was like, yeah, I have this demo. It's very bare. It's like bare bones. It's like drum, bass, and guitar. And I played it for somebody. Someone was like, "That's literally the coolest shit I've ever heard." Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I mean? And it's
Hmm.
weird because like now we're at that level. You and I both professionally in our careers where we have this high expectancy now because we've reached that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool to think about.
Because uh, the the Robert Kirkman thing
Mm-hmm.
that you said you weren't happy with because you know
Mm-hmm.
you could do better. Still sounded great.
You heard it? You watched that
Yeah.
exhibition match? Yeah. With 1 day's notice. But you know what I mean? It's like you know what you could do with time when you can like
Yeah.
have a plan, lay it out, think about how you're gonna execute it, blah 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 blah. Compared to if someone were to come and be like, "Hey, we need this catering event literally tomorrow morning. Like, can you do it?" Like, in your back of your head, you'd be like, "Fucking hell!" But you'd be like, "Yeah, I could do it," and you could do it, and people more than likely love it. But you in the back of your head would be like, "Yeah, but I could have done this. I could have done that. If I had
Yeah.
more time, I could have made this dish or that." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so. But this is I don't know. I'm trying to take that silver lining where it's kind of cool to think about. That it's like oh, we could like if need be, we're at that point where we could literally pull it out of our ass and it'll be good. It might not be great the way we want it to be, but it'll be good. You know what I mean? And that's kind of cool
Right.
to think about.
It is kind
That
of
being
cool.
that being said, I don't like pulling shit out of my ass. Give me time to
No,
sit
it's
down.
stressful for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for real. So, and that's a good place to end the episode, right? Don't,
I think so.
ladies and gentlemen, if you ever hire us for either a concert or a cooking thing, like a catering event or whatever, just give us time. That's it. That's all we ask for. We'll
Yeah.
give you a great, more time, greater product. That's all we're saying.
Okay.
And if
I'm
you're
not
if
waiting for the week of to start rehearsing. No.
yeah, and if you're an aspiring musician or an aspiring cook, and you're young, have the humility to know that you're young. You don't know everything. You can't do everything, and be willing to learn. And give time to learn. Don't just expect us to give you it to you because you've had a couple of good experiences. Like that literally don't mean shit in today's world. Just straight up. So, anything else?
That is it. That's perfect.
That's a perfect way to end the episode. Well, what are we gonna call it? Speaking freely on these 20-year-old, dunking on these 20-year-olds.
Zillennials.
Fucking Gen Z, bro. Oh man. All right. Tune in next week where we pull a topic out of our ass, much like today.
No. We're gonna go watch Batman versus the Ninja Turtles.
Finally. I hear hey, low key, I hear the comic books. Fantastic. They've made
Oh,
two,
yeah?
right? Two crossovers? Yeah.
I've only seen the one, I think.
Well, in terms of the animated movie, but in terms of like the actual comic books, they've done two
Right.
events like that.
Oh, okay.
We should probably. I'm saying we should read it, but I'm also like, will we have actual time to read at least one? We're both pretty busy. Well, real
Yeah,
quick, you have.
we'll think about it.
We'll think about it. Where were we supposed to watch TMNT 2? Because like anniversary came up or whatever.
Yes, soon.
Well, most likely. I don't know. Tune in next week. We'll figure it out. We probably won't, but we'll figure it out. We'll have it all planned out, ready to go with bullet points. Anything?
Right, where can the good listener find you?
Oh God, you can find me everywhere at David B Music 21 on Twitter, Instagram, twitch.tv/David B Music 21. I do want to take this time to announce that I will be doing a series of live concerts on my Twitch stream. Yay! I'm calling it
Nice.
the Goodbye Houston virtual tour.
Nice. Love it.
June 12th, I'll be doing a live stream with a band called The Fate Stay. We'll be doing covers and a couple of originals. You can look forward to covers from Taking Back Sunday, Fall Out Boy,
Ooh.
Rival Schools Saves the Day,
Ooh.
Jimmy Eat World,
Ooh.
Yellow Card. So
Yeah.
tune in. It's a lot of fun. Fuck you. I tried. Hey, real talk. I tried really hard to convince him to do All Downhill from Here, and they're like,
Oh, yeah?
They're like, maybe next show.
That's the response for that always. Maybe
Yeah.
next show.
Maybe next show. But yeah, tune into that June 12th for sure on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DavidBMusic21. And you can go stream my music on Spotify, Apple, David B Music. Go look up my album, Sunday Beats. And you can find me next Tuesday at an Astros game, being very drunk. Looking forward to it. Probably my last Astros game for a while. So
you should enjoy it.
I will, by being very drunk and not remembering it. Brian, where can the people find you?
On Instagram at Kuno_stars. And also on this podcast, you can find us at Speak Freely Pod at both Instagram and Twitter. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit that button, do the like, all the notification bell, all the good stuff. Tune in next week. Hopefully, we'll see.
We gotta just give us time, folks. The world, I keep saying it's opening back up, but I think Kuno was right where it has opened up, and we have to accommodate our schedules now because it's different. So we'll figure it out. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for all your support. We love you all, and we'll hopefully see you next week. Close.